Hi everyone. Today I'm going to mine a bit of iron, explore this cave, and also build a small house. But for now, let's move on to the first story. I accidentally told my boss's kid Santa wasn't real, and it turned into the weirdest promotion of my life. So this happened last December, and it still feels like a fever dream. I'm 26, and I work at a mid-sized marketing firm. I'm low-ish on the ladder, not an intern, but definitely not a corner office kind of guy. Around the holidays, the company throws this super fancy Christmas party at the CEO's house. He's very into family culture, so everyone shows up with spouses, kids, dogs, emotional baggage, the whole thing. I don't have kids. I barely have matching socks most days, but I love Christmas, and I'm decent with kids. So when my boss, let's call him Mike, asked me to help watch over the kids area while the adults got wine drunk on spiced Cabernet, I was like, sure, free cookies and no small talk about quarterly reports? Count me in. I'm helping a group of kids decorate sugar cookies when this little boy, maybe 6 or 7, looks up at me and asks, "Do you think Santa's really real?" I didn't even think. Not for a second. I just said, "Nah, but it's fun to pretend, right?" His face drops instantly, like I just told him his goldfish died again. Full-on trembling lip. That's when I realized I had made a terrible, career-altering mistake. Because of course, that kid was Mike's son. 10 minutes later, I'm summoned. Not by HR, not by my manager, by Mike himself. I'm picturing my career in flames. Me, jobless in January, selling feet pics to pay rent. But instead, he sits me down, dead serious, and says, "You told my son the truth. Nobody in this company tells the truth. They smile, they nod, they fake believe in Santa. You didn't overthink it, you just said it." I like that. Then he tells me he needs someone like that on the innovation team. Bold ideas, no nonsense. Long story short, I got promoted, literally because I ruined a kid's Christmas. Mike later told me his son was already suspicious. I just accelerated the timeline. Apparently, his wife was furious for a week. Now I'm on a team I never thought I'd be on, because I killed Santa. My coworkers whisper Saint Nick Slayer whenever I walk into meetings. So yeah, that's the story of how I accidentally grinched my way up the corporate ladder. Life's weird. All right, that was a cool story. And now we're out of the cave, so we can finally start building a house, I guess. Let's move on to the second story. My ophthalmologist ripped me off and pushed me into an expensive, unnecessary surgery. I ended up partially blind. And now he's begging me to reach a settlement.
So I, 26M, suffer from keratoconus, which, for all of you that don't know, it's a progressive eye condition where the cornea thins and bulges into a cone shape. In some cases, it can make you blind by 30. I've been seen by the same ophthalmologist since I was a kid, when I needed glasses in elementary school. And because of the years together, I didn't feel like I needed to fear him, and I trusted him with medical advice. Looking back, that's a rookie mistake. Fast forward, when I was 17, I was diagnosed with keratoconus, and the first red flags started to appear. Extra tests that I found out weren't really necessary, extra appointments, basically anything he could do to cash in while disguising it as being careful. But other than some extra payments every 6 months, I really didn't have much to worry about, so I stuck with him. About a year and a half ago, he said that my keratoconus was advancing faster than he planned for, so he wanted to perform a surgery called intercorneal rings. It's essentially a pair of arcs that reshape the form of your cornea. The whole procedure cost around $7,000 without insurance. I questioned him about the risks, and he dismissed them, saying they were minimal. Only 3 of the hundreds of patients he performed this surgery on had ever had complications. I asked if it was really necessary since I still had 100% vision at the time, corrected with regular contacts. He insisted it was necessary and the best possible treatment for me at the moment. The surgeries went fairly well. It's hard to describe. Someone cutting flesh off your eyeball, like watching a horror movie while not being able to feel anything. The next 3 months, I felt fine. My vision was recovering and slightly better on the short term on my left eye, but other than that, I didn't feel much difference. Until one of the arcs in my left eye decided it didn't really want to be there and started forcing its way out. My eye was blood red, and my vision in my left eye was essentially a blur. I followed the recovery protocol perfectly. There was no other way. When my eye inflammation calmed down, the ring had to come off. but the damage was already done. After correction with glasses or lenses, I had 70% vision in my right eye and a staggering 10% in my left eye. My ophthalmologist dismissed this, saying that it would bounce back and that we'd get my vision back eventually. I got myself another doctor, who reviewed all my tests ever since my diagnosis. The case was so bad I was rerouted to a specialist, a rock star in corneal medicine. After reviewing my medical records, he said the first ophthalmologist is known to rip off patients. There was no reason for me to undergo that surgery, and he didn't even have the updated equipment. It was intrusive and wouldn't have benefited me. I was sent to a contact lens specialist who designed free-form scleral lenses specifically for me using a 3D scan. They were expensive, around $2,250 yearly, but it was worth it. I finally got back to 100% vision. After that, I started planning my legal action. I consulted a lawyer, the type that costs $500 an hour and wears $10,000 suits. He said I had a strong case: physical and emotional damages, all medical records, the doctor's dismissal of risks, and even lying about the treatment being the best option. We secured medical examiners and affidavits from previous patients, and 8 months ago, we filed the case. The ophthalmologist called me, dismissing it as baseless. I documented the call and referred him to my lawyer. The defense tried to lowball me with offers from $20,000 to $50,000. In court, we presented evidence and asked for compensation: $2,250 yearly for 55 years, $123,750 adjusted to $189,000 for inflation, $15,000 for appointments and other medical costs, and $300,000 for emotional and physical damages. After hearing the demands, my former ophthalmologist called, begging for a sealed settlement to avoid ruining his career. I told him to talk to my lawyer. The next day, the judge not only approved the compensation but gave more, delivering a speech about doctors putting cash before patients and the Hippocratic Oath. The settlement was $750,000. Today, I live comfortably. My vision isn't perfect without contacts, but I live normally.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.